Exactly.
So,
And I've had that happen with students as well. Ask them, like, oh, like, how are you doing today? They're like, you don't even care. And I'm like, well, I do care, or I wouldn't be asking you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to ask you how your day is.
Yeah.
With students, especially, I could be like, Kate, what do we need to do? Let's do our work. And like, not ask them about their feelings. But if you recognize that someone's just not having a good time, then it's kind of nice to just ask at least. And if you get that sense like they're not okay, just be like, hey, like you seem a little bit off. I just thought I would ask. You don't have to tell me, but like I'm here if you need me. And sometimes that's all someone needs to hear too, right? Is just that they don't have to tell you. It's not necessarily your business.
Yeah.
But there is that person that you never know when in a moment of panic, they might reach out to you. You never know. I've had that happen where people like say I'll use this as an example, like from a gym, and they're like, hey, I see you've been posting all this stuff. Like, I'm actually really not having a good time right now. Would you be free to like meet up or talk on the phone or something? And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that you asked me, like, thank you. And then sometimes you just need someone to vent to because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
But it's just not as common with kids because they don't know that these strange feelings are, well, not, I guess they're normal, but not normal.
Yeah. They don't really know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's just sort of there, and that's when you get them, like, yeah, acting out. Or like, big one for me is suicide for kids. Like, I just can't listen to it. I just feel so horrible about it. I have a very big soft spot. I've had my friends kill themselves, unfortunately, high school, after high school. And it's just not something you ever want to hear. And it's always something that someone wishes that they could have helped with sooner if they had known, right? So
Yeah.
exactly. And then obviously like depression and anxiety, and you get like harassment and bullying and all that kind of stuff falls into the categories too. So it is a very wide thing to sort of try to tackle, but
Yeah.
that's all right. It's doable, I guess.
No, I think it'll be really good. And yeah, when you talked about the groups, like I think a little like support group or something, like even with a bunch of the kids like of their own age, so that they could talk to each other and be like with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like endless options, really.
Yeah, exactly. I talked to someone a while ago, and even like a grief group or something. If there's a child that's going through grief, or a couple of them, like getting them together to kind of talk about that, because people, unfortunately, kids like lose parents, or they lose like someone who's very close to them.
Yeah.
And even stuff like that can cause like mental health, or like they need help. Like you never know. Like the school I'm at, the teacher, she did mention that a couple years ago, I think there was 4 or 5 students just in her class that needed to go see the counselor. And it was in kindergarten.
In kindergarten. Holy. Yeah, that's like, and I guess what's the process for the kids if they want to see this counselor that's like barely there?
Yeah.
Who do they decide who gets to see and how that works?
Well, that's exactly it. Like sometimes like the referrals like they don't always get to them, or there's just not enough time. And that's just kind of it.
And does that person will go into the school and talk to the kids in there?
Yeah. Like they work for the district. It's just like, and they do like an amazing job, but they're just one person for our school's got like 600 kids. Or then you go into high schools, for example, that are like 15 to 1800 kids, and there's 2 counselors for the most part that are there. And then they have all of these kids to sort of deal with, among like doing like their paperwork and all that other stuff. Like there's just not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
And then mental health is just increasing so much in schools. It's brutal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, and people don't really know how bad it is. But if you think about it, and if you think about like the people you know, then you think about how many people that is, and then times that by like 2,000 people.
Well, even the stats are like it's almost like 1 in 2 or 3 people has like anxiety or depression.
Yeah.
So in the school of 1,800, that means 900 kids are dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like close 5 to 900. So how are 2 people supposed to deal with that?
Well, exactly. And then if that means, and then it's like who's even talking about it, like coming forward, and then it goes back to people are like they're embarrassed, and kids are embarrassed, they don't know what to do. Like there's just so many different things, and it just, I don't know, it sucks. And then they have like there's homework and all the other stuff that adds to it, of course. And then you just get a couple shitty days, and then kids just don't understand that it's only a day, it's not your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they don't think of it like that in high school or elementary school. They literally think that it's going to be like this forever. I remember thinking, it's like, is this actually how life is? Like, this is what it is going to be like all the time. And you can't get out of that. It's very hard to shake that mindset.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't even really think about high school that much anymore. Because, like, I mean, it was a big part of my life, but it wasn't, like, an enjoyable part of my life. So, like, I don't know. Like, I know I would never want to go back in my, like, considering my life now. But it's so weird. I don't know, like when you're in high school, you just have no idea what it's going to be like after.
Exactly.
Obviously, like it's impossible to know that. But I just remember being in high school feeling like it just feels like forever. And like even also the anxiety of having to go out into the real world. You know, there's so much that is going on in those years. It's wild. It's like a huge change.
Yeah, exactly. But then like looking back, you're just like, high school means literally nothing.
Yeah.
It meant nothing to me. But then when you're in high school and you're in grade 9 and you have 3 more years, you're just like, it's very hard to get into that mindset. Like, this is not forever. This is just for now. But kids don't see that.